Today we're talking to people in the Ku-ring-gai area, north of Sydney, about climate change and the risk of bushfire. So are you familiar at all with the term climate change?
I am, yes. It's a big worry for all of us at the moment, not only for us but for our children as well.
Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
I am.
Yes.
Yep. What does it mean to you?
That pollution caused by people is clogging up the atmosphere and changing temperature of the earth.
I don't really believe in it.
Rising sea levels.
Climate change just means that we all have to be more aware of our surroundings, our environment.
And a changing climate can change everything.
Have you noticed any changes in the weather or the environment around where you are?
Yes, I have. It's getting a lot drier, not so much rainfall.
Probably all the storms.
The times of the year and the changes and the climate that normally I associated with them seem to have changed.
Nothing that hasn't already happened in my lifetime.
Yeah.
This last winter that there's been a lot more rain and wild weather, I guess, with the storm that we've just had.
I think Australia is just a land where we go through lots of climate cycles.
We're still in the biggest drought that we've ever had in New South Wales in living memory. So there's obviously something going wrong somewhere along the line.
Well, our climate is changing and temperatures have been rising at least since the 1960s. In Ku-ring-gai, this means that we're experiencing hotter days, warmer nights, changed rainfall patterns, that sort of thing. For fire, that means that we're likely to experience more severe and frequent fire weather.
Do you associate bushfire risk with climate change?
I think it could have something to do with it.
No, I can't say that I do.
I assume you mean by that, if it's hotter, there's more risk of bushfire. So yes, I do, yeah.
I don't really.
If climate change will increase the number of extreme climate events, then that will probably increase bushfire danger considerably.
I've never honestly stopped to think about it, but I would suggest that yes, they're probably connected.
I mean, not even just the risk, but the severity.
Where you live, is there much bush around your house?
There's a lot of trees, and that's technically it.
I grew up next to the bush, yes.
Reasonably close.
Yes.
Yeah, we live one street back from the national park.
We have trees in our backyard. We have trees actually all around us.
Have you ever experienced a bushfire where you are?
While I was living in the Blue Mountains, we had several fires up there.
So we've had some quite nasty fires over the last 10-15 years that I've been personally involved in.
Bushfire came through our place a few years ago. It was very scary.
Just had friends lose a house to a bushfire in California in the middle of winter.
Oh, it's very frightening. Yeah, very real.
I would have been so scared. We wouldn't have had anywhere to go if that bushfire had been on our street. We would have freaked.
Flames would have been 150 feet.
And there's always the fear of losing your home.
Well, we're actually one of the most vulnerable local government areas in the state. Ku-ring-gai is surrounded by lots of bushland. This includes 3 national parks and about 120 bushland reserves, making about 14,000 houses bushfire prone.
Do you do anything to prepare your property for fire?
Yep, we keep our gutters clean. We're ready with water in the gutters.
There's a no-go area for rubbish around the house.
We pick up all of our leaf litter and we have our trees trimmed.
We always have fire breaks.
No.
After today, probably yes.
Do you have a bushfire plan?
Do I have a formal kit? No. Do I have supplies on board that I can throw it into the car and go? Yes.
I've got kit packed. It stays in the van.
We've at least talked through if we had to evacuate.
Well, the bushfire plan really is to run.
Probably should have something a bit more formal, like where we would go in the event of a bushfire.
I've got a route marked to get away.
Yes, I do, in a sense, yes.
We've got the fire alarm, and then we will file out calmly.
Got a bit of a safety kit floating around.
You've also got to listen to the warnings of the area people and if they say get out, get out.
A series of phone calls that I make take about 3 minutes and then I'm off and away.
If you did have to get out, what would you take with you?
Upsy daisy.
Upsy daisy.
Clothes, definitely.
Our dog's number 1.
Shoes.
Pack a few things important like the wife in the car.
A sword and a mask.
Sword and a mask, that's important.
And of course my family.
Make sure my parents and all my pets are out of the house.
The girl needs a lipstick.
Hair products.
What's your outlook for the future?
The future's great, and I think people are putting in better strategies in regards to protecting themselves against climate change. People are more aware.
The unknown ones now of the future for my grandchildren.
It's a bit scary. I think it's a lot harder for these guys than it would be for us.
Well, if we keep not looking after this planet, looks like worse storms, bigger fires.
I hope to see greater awareness of climate change, a greater connection to the environment and nature, especially from young kids.
Halfly it's our fault that it's changing. We're causing global warming, we're causing icebergs to blah.
I really think that, we need to see some change in people's habits. If it keeps heading that way, I think we are going to get a lot hotter and, it's going to be a harder life.
Lots of people mention the little bits and pieces they're doing. How can people better prepare for bushfire?
Yeah, well, planning to make a plan is definitely not a plan, so everybody should have a written one.
So how can people better prepare?
Well, it's easier than a lot of people think. All they need to do is contact Council or the New South Wales Rural Fire Service, and we can help them prepare their home and their families for bushfire.